Tell me if something like what I'm about to describe is happening to you. You get TikTok as a joke, or maybe you're just curious to see what the idea is, and you flip through the For You page. You realize that these TikToks are actually pretty funny, and you understand the reason TikTok is getting so much hype. You scroll through the videos on your first day watching TikTok, and they're all pretty funny, and you're going to use this app in the future. 2 months later, you have a crippling TikTok addiction, and you spend hours on end just scrolling through TikToks with no reward. What is the reason for this, man? And the simple answer is dopamine, but of course it's not as simple as that. It's the idea of addiction and choosing smaller things over bigger things, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay, dopamine. It's a neurotransmitter that is directly linked to our survival. It gives us motivation and pleasure when we do things that are necessary to live. For example, when you eat, or when you drink water, or when you work out, or when you sexually reproduce. Those are all things that are necessary for the human race to keep on going. So therefore, dopamine tells us that this is good and we should keep on doing this in the future. In theory, dopamine is a very helpful thing, but in reality it can actually cause us more harm than good in our daily lives. Oftentimes we choose dopamine over actual productive things that we really want to do, and this can screw up a lot of things for our life. See, the way dopamine works, it shoots out little things whenever you're doing something it likes, and it goes into the pleasure center of your brain. But eventually, if you're overriding your pleasure center with too much dopamine, they'll give you less dopamine over time to compensate for the overload. And this is what causes addiction. When I was a little kid, drinking one sip of Coca-Cola was like my dream, man. It made my day. But now I can drink 3 cans and I'm just like, dude, I want one more, you know? This is because I was overloaded on dopamine and it's slowly compensating for it, and it's giving me less and less dopamine every time. So I need more and more to get that same feel for the one sip of Coke I had as a kid. This is what happens to everybody if they're overweight, if they're addicted to their phone, if they're addicted to smoking, vaping, anything. This is the reason it causes this. So dopamine has its advantages. It's good for us. We need it to live. Dopamine is essential for our survival, but when we misuse it, it can cause some crippling addictions that can ruin our lives. Now, what's the reason us humans, us perfect humans, let these addictions happen? Well, I don't know if you're like me, but I try to live my life doing the easiest thing possible most of the time. I try to make my life easy and relaxing and peaceful, no stress, no hard work. I'm not a fan of that stuff. So every single minute of my life, I have 2 options. I can do something that is productive and meaningful and something that could really help me in the future. Or I could get dopamine. Now, dopamine affects me right away. I do the thing, I get the joy, I feel good. I'm pleasured. That's why I watch YouTube videos. I watch the video, it feels good, I like it. But if I spend my time, working on this YouTube channel and trying to really make this big, because I'm passionate about making these videos, and my video gets 20 views for the 10 hours I put in, that doesn't fill me with dopamine. It doesn't give me as much as I did just watching 10 minutes of YouTube video. I watch 10 minutes of online content for this amount of pleasure, and I put in 10 hours to make this video, and I get this much pleasure. Obviously, it seems so much more better. Oh my gosh, my grammar, dude. It seems a lot better to take the dopamine. But what if this video was the one that was slated to become my viral hit? The one that was gonna lead me to a life where I can create this content for a living. But because I was too busy watching the video, my moment of opportunity, where the perfect time trends with the video I'm making, was over. If we live our life choosing the more productive task over the dopamine-filled one just a little bit more every day, we will live the better tomorrow. And eventually our future lives will be that of what we wanted. But we have to start right here. Instead of watching the YouTube video, just work on the thing you want to work on. It's not going to help right now. You're not going to feel good. It sucks. It's hard work. But maybe that was your viral hit. Maybe that was the thing that's going to cause you to get into the Olympics. Who knows? It's worth the shot, right? We're all going to die anyway. You might as well put in the work to try and get something you really want out of life. That's the reason you shouldn't be scrolling through the TikToks. Because you could be doing something way better for your life. And trust me, when you do the dopamine thing, it always ends up leading to disappointment. You realize that you just wasted your time and this isn't actually what you wanted.